Good morning, children. How are you? I am fine. Hope everyone is keeping good health. Student, today as we start the lesson Industrial Revolution, already we were discussing in the class and some of the part or topics have remained. Today we will be discussing that is. So here in the Industrial Revolution, we have started studying between the year of 1780s and 1850s in Britain, a European country, the industrial development has started. This period of industrial development in Britain is strongly associated with the new machinery and technologies. This made it possible to produce goods on a massive scale compared to handicraft and the handloom industries. Children, already as we knew previously that the handlooms and the handicraft were totally being utilized by the people, but slowly when the technological development took place and the machinery has invented, then production process has been changed, which manually people used to produce goods, but that has been produced through the machine or technologies. This revolution or these changes is known as a industrial revolution. In industrial revolution, we have already in the classes the introductory part or the many topics that we have completed, but just today I want to remind you what are the things and what we had already completed. Then here the first topic comes, why Britain? Britain was the first country to experience the modern industrialization. Why? Why it is only in Britain? Why not in any other European country? If you want to know, then here in the Britain country or in Britain, politically it was a stable country in the 17th century, with some of the neighboring areas like England, Wales and Scotland unified under the monarchy. Monarchy has totally, or the king has totally captured under its control, and the political system was totally stable, and they made a common law in the kingdom and a single currency, and the market process or purchasing of goods or export and import of any type of activity that has been done within a single monarchy. So already we have came to know European country were having they struggled more, like just like France and Italy and some Germany and all that, some other country, they have struggled because of the frequent changes of the monarch and the different type of rules and regulations and laws. But here what happened? The king totally stably he made a political system, and the law whatever he has made it, or the currency whatever was been utilized, that has not changed for some extent of years. By the end of the 17th century, the monarch was widely used as the medium of exchange. By then, a large section of the people received their income in the form of wages and salaries rather than in goods. This gave people a wider choice for ways to spend their earning and expanded the market for the sale of goods. So here generally previously what used to be taken place is when a person is doing something job or work, people were being provided some goods and all that. But in the Britain country, in the end of this 17th century, people have got money, currency, and whatever the wages or the salaries that they used to get, they used to get the currency or the money, and it gave them a great income in the end of this 17th or the beginning of this 18th century and all that is. And slowly people also started to have the agricultural work, and from there also more and more benefit that the people that they have got it. In this way that we can say the question that is being asked, why only in Britain? Because in Britain politically stable was there, and totally the country made a common law for the people and a single currency that they have made it, and any type of jobs the people they have they provided the salaries and the wages and all that is the currency or the money that they have given instead of goods and all. That is why the Britain has that much of a development has taken place. Next topic, towns, trade and finance. From the 18th century, many towns in Europe were growing in areas and in population. Out of this, 19 European cities whose population doubled between 1750 and 1800. 11 were in Britain. The largest of them was London, which served as a hub of the country's market. So the population also has increased slowly, because as we knew, wherever that is the people get their job, wherever the people get their income and all that, so the people they go and they settle down in that. So in this way the population that is increasing slowly, and from the small town or small village it becomes a big town or a big villages and all that is, as in the classes that we were discussing more and all. And then London became one of the hub of the country's market, and it became a marketplace and all. In the 18th century, the center of global trade had shifted from the Mediterranean port to Italy and France to the Atlantic port of Holland and Britain. Then slowly in the Mediterranean port of Italy, the trade used to take in place. The global trade used to take place, but later on it has been shifted to Holland and Britain. And if Holland and Britain becomes the center point of global market, then it will develop very soon. As we know, the areas or any type of areas population increasing, and slowly when the people started to remain over there and doing some types of goods and income is there, then definitely that the development will take place. In England, the movement of goods between the market was helped by a good network of rivers and an intended coastline with sheltered base until the spread of railway transport by the waterways was cheaper and faster than any land. So slowly when the market has increased and goods production has increased, then they started to have a good network between the countries for exporting and importing, just like through the waterways or through the roadways and through the airways and all that is. That is what has been taken place over in the European country and all. Next, here already we have talked about the two topics like a trade and a town. How town has increased and how the trade has been developed. Because of this production is more, and when the production is more, and slowly what happens is that the people started to have a business or transport the goods from one place to another place by the means of road transport for the water transport. Road transport in the sense on the road or through the railway or through the waterway and all that is. And next we are going to discuss about that the finance, how finance have come to the country and how the finance has developed, that much of development has taken place regarding the money or the finance, how they have got it. The center of this country's financial system was the Bank of England, founded in the year of 1694. By 1784, there were more than 100 provincial banks in England, and during the next 10 years, their numbers tripled. By the year of 1820s, there were more than 600 banks in the provinces and over 100 banks in London alone. The financial requirements to establish and maintain a big industrial enterprises were met by these banks. So the banks also has increased, where there were only one or two banks, but slowly with the extending of the year and all that is that the banks also have developed more and more, and number of banks that they have opened, and through the bank the people started to get their finance from there. So in this way that the development has been taken place, because finance they have got it through the banks, and trade they have done through the waterway and the roadway, and the town also has been increased. So this is what already we have completed or we studied already in the classes, but for your understanding again to revise this, just I am sending this video and all. Next one is coal and iron. Already you know coal and iron is more produced over here because it is the a staple material of England, that the coal and iron that they are having. Already we have discussed. England was fortunate in that the coal and iron ore, that the staple material for the mechanization, were plentifully available, as were other minerals like lead, copper and tin that were used in the industry. Iron is drawn out of ore as a pure liquid metal by a process called smelting. For centuries, the charcoal was used for the smelting process, but there were some problems, and through the charcoal and all, the impurity produced poor quality of iron. So it was a short supply because there were the production was not very good, and the forest had been destroyed for the timbers and all, and it could not generate a high temperature. This is the main important of using the charcoal and all, because if you are producing the iron, then the temperature has to be more and more. So the charcoal was not able to produce that much of a temperature to get a pure iron and all. This solution of this problem had been sought for years before it was solved by the family of iron matters, the Dervish. Already we studied the Dervish family. 3 generations were there. They have only brought to the world a good coal, or the coke that we could say. The coke that is derived from the coal. Okay, by removing all the impurities and all from the coke is being found, and from this coke, that totally that the strong and very important or the real iron that they have got it. So till today, that through the using of this coke, that the iron is being produced, and that iron till today that we people are using. So this is what you can see the map of England and Britain and all, and the iron and coal manufacturing areas that is being located over here in this country. And slowly when we go ahead, next cotton spinning and weaving. So children, here this also you can see The British had always woven the cloth out of wool and flax. So already we knew the previously when there was no machinery things or the technological things, the people manually that they used to do the work. So in the country that the cotton also is being produced more and more. Through the cotton they are spinning and weaving the cloths and all that is already we have discussed this topic. And next when we come to the next topic is steam engine. Already you know the steam engine produced, it is realization of the steam could generate the tremendous power. Okay, and that the industries totally require the tremendous power and all that is, and generating the, through this tremendous power and all that is, it can produce more and more goods and all that is. Here also one more cotton textile manufacturing areas are also is given. Just you could have you could just observe the map and all that is being given over here. And next when we come to the next topic and all, that is nothing the canals and the railways. Already we have discussed the canals and the railways, how they have developed because of the business or because of the transportation of goods from one place to another place. This has been taken place extensively, that you can you could understand. That is already this topic also that we have discussed after the invention of this steam engine by James Watt and all. That steam was being utilized over there in through the ship and all, boat and all, and then through the railway, and the transportation was very faster and all. The next we will be discussing that is that the changed the life. Life has been changed. How? In what way? In what manner that the life has been changed in the people over in the country and all that. Just have a look and all. In these years, therefore, it was possible for the individuals with the talent to bring about the revolutionary change. Similarly, there were rich individuals who could risk and invested money in industries in the hope that a profit could be made and that their money would multiple. In most cases, this money, capital, okay, money in the sense that is known as a capital, did multiple. Wealth in the form of goods, income, service, knowledge, and productive efficiency did increase dramatically. In the sense, the life of the people has been changed. How? Because they have money, they are very rich, so they started to invest the money. They came to know what happens in the industry, or what we produce, that goods we can once sell it, or we can get more and more money. So people used to multiply their money and all that is already this topic also we have discussed, but till just I am reminding you. And the next topic that we were discussing, that is the workers. What about the workers? How the what problem that the workers are faced over there? Here the workers, when we talk, the survey, one of the survey has taken place in 1842. It seems they released that the average lifespan of the worker was lower than that of any other social group in the cities, because already we studied factory have developed more and more, and people have gotten settled in the cities and all that. So definitely there will be some type of unhygienic systems might have created. Okay, because of more people, population will be more, and where people will not get the sufficient the cleanliness or in their surroundings and all that. So this might have happened, and some of the areas like 15 years, and some of the areas 17 years, some of the areas in 21 years was the lifespan of the people. Why? More people died, and died at the young age in the new industrial cities than in the villages they had come from, and half the children failed to survive beyond the age of 5. The increase in the population of the cities was because of the immigrants rather than by an increase in the number of children born to the family who already lived there. It means that the people have come, immigration has taken place. Immigration in the sense people come from the village and settle down in the cities by hoping of getting some job and money and all these things to have a better life, and all people generally that they come. So but this affected a more to the people, and the people started because they may not be living in a hygienic areas, they may be living somewhere else wherever that they find the places and all that is it. So the children used to die, the young age child used to get infection and all that, and they used to die. The death were primarily caused by epidemics of diseases that sprang from the pollution of water like cholera and typhoid, or some of the TB and all through the air. So this is what happens the life of the workers, that they have struggled more and all that is, and many people also have lost their life and all. Okay, next we'll be talking about or we have seen and all that is the women, children and industrialization. For the development of this industry and all that is what happened. I am not just reading, just I am telling you that the women and the children were being engaged in the work. You know that very well. We have already discussed that is because the men, if the man is joining in the work, the industrialist they used to think that is the man may not do the work and he may not tolerate the orders of the industrial owner and all that is. So that they used to keep the women and the children, because women and children with the less salary also they can do the job, and they could do work over there, whatever the owner says, everything that they obey and they do the work. So in this way that the women and children also were working or kept for the development of this industrial revolution over in the Britain country. And next we are when we go through that is the next topic is the protest movement. This is what we were lacking behind, and we were discussing that is in the class, and from there onwards that the schools have been closed, and we'll be talking about more the protest movement. Why this protest has taken place already you knew, because the men and women and the children, so also we could say the workers did not get their salary in time. More hours of work was there, and the salary was very less for the people. Already you know that very well, we discussed. So this made a very great problem for the workers, and instead of working the people, they have replaced what? Technology or the machinery things. That is why people have became jobless, because they brought the machines, they brought the technology, new technology things which could do 100 people the work, that same work one machine is doing. So the industrialist entrepreneurs, they could think that is no need of joining these people and paying this much of money or salary. So instead of them we can have a machine. Development is taken place in its place, but what about the people? Their job also is necessary. They should also get this money, the salary, then only they could survive, otherwise no. So it was little very difficult for the people, so that the protest has been taken place, that we could say. Just I am telling, just you look at that. The movement of liberty, equality and fraternity showed the possibility of collective mass action, both in creating democratic institutions like the French Parliament Assembly of the 1790s, and in checking the worst hardship of the war by controlling the price of necessities like bread was very high. So in the time of this 1790s and all that is that the people were starving for equality. There was no liberty for the people, no fraternity, no brotherly feelings with others. There was some, because the rich they behave in their own way, and the people, lay people or the people those who are not having anything, that we could say the poor people, who listens them, who understands them. So that made a lot of problem. And in the same period of time also, in the year of 1792 to 1815, there was a long war between England and France. So the trade between England and in the European was totally disturbed because of this war between the England and the France, and the price of bread has increased, and unemployment took place, and many industries also has been shut down. So this made many factories and all that has been shut down. So that has made a lot of problem, and the price essential items of food like bread and meat and so to height beyond the level of the average wages. How much that the wages that they used to get it? More than that, the prices has been increased. So it gave lot of problem for the people. Already that we know, when the tomato kilo in our country reaches to 100 or 80 and all that, what problem creates, that you know very well. So just I know of saying this is only tomato, a vegetable that we put in a curry and all that is, but their staple food, their main food, bread and meat, if this price increase, then what could be the situation, just to imagine. So this is what happened. And finally, in order to maintain all these problems and all, or also in order to provide the good what is that called, that the bread and meat, or to bring peace in the country and all that, is the parliament in the year of 1795 passed two combination act. This act totally they have made in the country, okay, in the parliament and all. This is totally against the workers. The workers cannot make the what is that called, a union among themselves, or they cannot, they were totally banned to authorize the public meeting over nearly 50 persons and all. This some of the problems that the people have been faced over in the country. And in Britain has a total reason to the certain level of that, is as the workers flooded towns and factories, they expressed their anger and frustration in the numerous forms of protest. People have got more angry upon that, because the government is not able to solve the problem, or the frustration that they are getting from the industries or the factories and all, not getting proper wages or working hour is more. So in this way that the people are very what is that we could say, that they are totally unhappy with the government and also with the factory owners and all that is. And there were bread or the food riot took place throughout the country. Bread and food riot took place throughout the country from the year of 1790s onwards, because the scarcity of food. So people need the food. From where that they will satisfy? From where they will get it? And the bread was the staple item in the diet of the poor, and its price governed their standard of living. And already we know people how they were getting the how they were living, and the amount they were getting. Already previously we have seen it was very difficult, and also that is why a riot took place, a fighting between the people and with the government, that has been increased, okay, from the year of 1790s and all that is. And such riot were particularly frequent in the worst year of the war is known as 1795, but they continued till 1840 and all that is, because people did not get anything, and people generally they have the right, they are living in the country, and these things have happened. And another thing is what the people have or the industrialists have replaced the machinery things. So this made a lot of problem again. Here people are starving for the food, and another thing, the government is not going to make any type of system for the people, and here the people also are having lot of problems. Here in the year of 1770s and all that is, hundreds of small farmers had been merged into the large one of the powerful landlords and all, and the poor rural families affected by this and short industrial work by the introduction of the machines in the cotton industry threw the thousands of handloom weavers out of work and into poverty life and all, since their labor was too slow to compare with the machines. From the year of 1790s, the weavers began to demand a large minimum wages, and which was refused by the parliament. This is what have happened, children, for the people, and whatever that they have demanded, that has been not fulfilled. And the industrialists, what they have done, they have replaced the workers, because the workers, it means the workers were totally sent out, and they have brought the new machinery things and all that. Is here you can see some of the areas that they have for the threshers and for the cultivating of plowing and all, and some of the machinery things and all that is, this has been done. So this is what all we study about the protest movement that the people have made it in the country. So next we'll be discussing tomorrow, that is the reforms through the laws. So I think this is the protest movement, and some of the topic that I have said you in the classes, and today that you just recall your whatever we have I have taught you in the class, and I hope this is very clearly that you could get it. Thank you so much. Have a good day.